Welcome, everybody, to the Evil Ewok podcast. I am here with X-Wing, who's filling in for Alex,
Hello there.
and Kat, as always.
What's that?
We have some of the usuals. We've got Charlie, Bird Church, the Stanleys, Obsession, Aiden, with the super chat already because of Obi-Wan. Because of Obi-Wan, yes. Thank you all for joining us. We have some news to get through today. Nothing crazy, but there's always stuff to talk about with Star Wars. So
always.
I have a feeling this is the calm before the storm of May.
Definitely. It's we're gonna hit that waterfall. We're gonna go down it.
I think Celebration's gonna throw us all into conniption fits. Like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a lot more than people are saying.
Yeah,
dude, I hope so. I hope so. Anyways, how are you guys doing today?
Fabulous. I missed that little Ewok intro.
Yeah, that's a great intro, and I'm not biased at all, but that's a great
Not
intro.
at all. Not at
all.
Love it.
All right, let's dive on into it. Before we actually get into it, my Star Wars March Madness polls have concluded, and the winner is none other than Darth Vader himself.
Not surprised.
It's only natural.
Really. He defeated his own son in the finals, something he could not do in Return of the Jedi, but he did it in our polls. So congratulations to Darth Vader. You'll be getting your trophy in the mail. And let's move on to some video game topics here. So Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga came out. In case any of you out there have not noticed, I might be the only person on the planet who hasn't played this yet. But I want you guys, I want you guys to give me your impressions about this game.
Ooh, Kat, lead us off, man.
Oh man,
convince me to get it.
Now I'm worried X-Wing and I are gonna have conflicting opinions. I love it. It's right up my wheelhouse in terms of not too easy, not too hard. It's just very low-key, fun, has the nostalgia, and I've only previously played Lego Hobbit, and this is just coming from the dual screen perspective, but I kind of did not like the mechanics in that one, and I really hated when you were playing split screen. It would do that stupid thing. It wasn't just a locked vertical split the whole time. It would it would morph your screens together, and it would go diagonal sometimes, and you would just not know where you were, and you'd be looking at your little character from 100 feet away, their profile. It would just not. I didn't like it. It was a lot harder for me to follow. So I really am enjoying the dual player. Just way more ease, and it's way more enjoyable, and it's way less motion sick inducing because you're just locked on your two screens. That for me was huge, and has made it way more fun. So it's honestly, the graphics are incredible, the maps look incredible. I love the kind of unexpected open world aspect of it. The maps are huge. There's so much opportunity to explore, and I love that some of the missions just add on to the movies as well, different sides of different characters that we didn't get to see in the films. So
you thought I was gonna oppose that opinion?
I don't know. Zach was like, all right, sound off, guys, and you were like,
fight to the death.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I love it. I loved the prequels were a lot of fun. I had some issue on my end when it came to a couple of the levels. I don't know if it's just a PC thing, but the Droid Factory, my game freaked out when I was streaming it. Oh my god, the frame, everything. It was absolutely awful. That's really my only complaint, because I don't have any friends to play co-op with.
Sorry.
But other than that, yeah, I've enjoyed the heck out of it. I've noticed it seems to me like they've put a lot more thought, and they've made the levels a lot longer for the original trilogy than they were for the prequel. I haven't made up my mind about that yet, Obsession. Okay, if I can play Admiral Holdo, I'm going to play the entire sequel trilogy as Admiral Holdo. Right? I have an interesting relationship with that character, but yeah. So I'm enjoying the heck out of it, man. And who doesn't love being able to play the movies, man? I when I was playing the Phantom Menace, doing the pod race, I was right back in it. I was 9 years old, just stoked. It's fun.
So one of the things that I really liked from the trailers was they added more combat mechanics. Is that like as good as it looks? Because I remember the old Skywalker Saga, or like the full saga from like 15 years ago. It was fun, but like it was just basically like swing, swing, like one swing.
Yeah, that X button was just wrecked by the end of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They added some mechanics for sure, and it's nice because you can either do it or you can not. You can still mash the X button and be completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get some combos if you want, but I usually just do the same swing over and over and over again.
Yeah. The only thing they do force you, I think, when you're not using a lightsaber, every once in a while, like the enemies will say like blocked, and you have to change what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll never kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. I
like that they added, like, it seems fully voice acted. I remember it used to just be sounds that they would make, like little grunts. Like, I love that. They used a lot of the Clone Wars actors, right?
Yeah, that was a cool aspect of the prequel ones. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned though you can turn on mumble mode,
Yep.
as they called it.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
an unlockable. Yep.
Yeah. I like it better, I think, with the prequels at least were more fun with the voice actors doing that dialogue. It was
the humor is ridiculous in that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It is so funny. I was shocked at how funny it was, because a lot of times in the older ones it was just kind of gaggy and dumb, but these are like they're actually pretty funny.
No, I was I had trepidations that it was going to be almost childish humor, but no, it's definitely it's unexpectedly hilarious in some parts. Like there's some zingers. So
I've seen that Darth Maul makes like several Better Call Saul Breaking Bad references, which is incredible.
The only one I saw was I think it was a mission. It was like Better Call Maul, I think was the mission.
Yeah, there's that one, and then I saw that, like, I guess if you cut him in half or something, he'll say like no half measures, which is he's quoting Mike, which is clever, like very clever Lego. So how far are you both in it?
Finishing up hopefully tonight, finishing up Return of the Jedi, and then we're gonna move on to the sequels.
Oh man, you're ahead of me. I'm just starting Empire Strikes Back probably tomorrow, maybe.
Kat, do you even have a life? My God.
This was all Tom's idea, all right? He was like, we are gonna get this game and we are gonna stream it every single night, every single episode until we're done. I was like, all right, we're probably going to stream like the prequels and then he's going to get tired and we'll stop. But he's like, no, we got to do it. So if you go on my channel, it's literally the same icon for the past like 6 videos. It's Lego, 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 Lego.
You don't switch up the thumbnails?
Dude, I'm lazy, all right? Half the time I literally like set up the stream 15 minutes before we go live. I'm like, reuse settings.
Must be nice, Kat. Must be nice.
Tom Kane's last performance as Yoda since he is retired now.
That sucks. That was so rough to hear about when that happened. For those of you who don't know, I think he had a stroke and he can't really speak anymore, which sucks. He voiced a lot of characters, not just Yoda. Yularen, and he did the intros. Like he's like, I associate his voice with the Clone Wars so much.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer, but yeah, enjoy his last performance. I also thought in the spirit of this, we could kind of give our favorite Star Wars games of all time. X-Wing, why don't you start us off?
Favorite Star Wars games of all time? Oh, dude. I would say, I mean, there's different categories, but when it comes to like formative, enjoyable, and memorable experiences, I still feel like Shadows of the Empire is just like, that was just... I played that game so much, dude. And like to the point where the music that they use in that game that don't actually represent the scenarios that are occurring, like Boba Fett's theme is still always going to be like running through, I don't even remember the name of the canyon. When you get the jetpack, I don't know if anybody remembers what I'm talking about.
A little before my time, I think, like slightly before my time.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna agree with Aiden. I like Force Unleashed. I think I don't know which I like better, Fallen Order or Force Unleashed. They're different, but
what about the old ones?
I didn't start gaming seriously until like recently, so I haven't delved into many of the old ones yet.
Yeah, the original Battlefront 2 is also, I mean, that was kind of in that same area-ish. That was probably one of my favorite. Bounty Hunter, I hated. I got sick. I got sick from the camera.
I would have to say it's close. I really love Knights of the Old Republic. Though I didn't play that until high school. I was really late to the party on that one. And I also, I love the original Battlefronts. Like, for some reason, I have more memories about the first one, even though the second one I think was objectively better because you could play as like Jedi and Sith and all that, and that was cool. But you can't beat like that 2000 to 2006 era of Lucasfilm or Lucas Arts video games. Like, it was just something about it. Like, they had lightning in the bottle. But more recently, you got to go with Star Wars Angry Birds. Like, come on, that's it's the best Star Wars game of all time.
I lied. I take it back. Star Wars Sims expansion pack.
Oh man,
hell yeah.
I got that from Mrs. X-Wing, and she like never played it.
Is she a Sims fan? Okay, because it was
massive.
like
Girls love The Sims. I will never understand it. I hate The Sims so much.
Girls, I loved The Sims when I was in middle school, dude.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay,
it's
about control. Like, you can totally, what you can't do in your
That's
own life,
why girls love it. They're like, you're gonna do everything I tell you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes,
I'm gonna put the furniture where I want. I'm gonna do everything my way.
You have full control. That's the best. I'm literally gonna go play Sims tonight. Like, it's such a good game. Like,
stream it.
Stream. That's what I wanted to do with the Star Wars expansion, because the whole expansion pack was you get to like go to WATTO. And I guess it's honestly just a replicated experience of what would happen if you actually went to Galaxy's Edge. There's like a can you tell I don't know much about the sequels? The Resistance camp. There's a Resistance camp, and then there's a First Order camp, and you can like infiltrate both and decide what you want to be. If you want to be a Resistance member or a First Order member, if you want to be like a smuggler. And I was like, I'm gonna stream this is gonna be great. And it really wasn't much different than just a typical
normal
Sims
game.
Yeah. I was like, no one's gonna watch this.
The only time I played Sims was just to like, I would pick one of the Sims and try to make their life as miserable as humanly possible. Like, if you're going to play God, play the way God plays the world in the real world. You know what I mean? Just focus it on one person and make their life horrible.
No, I am definitely not. I am guilty of self-sabotaging some of my Sims lives when I was getting sick of them at some point.
You like the drama, dude. You know? It's like watching Love Island or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how many times like my spouse in the game like killed themselves by like starting a fire with their oven, and I was just like, what are you doing? It's not that hard. Like, I don't know how to cook very well, but I don't kill myself whenever I use an oven.
No, sometimes there would be fluke freak accidents like that in the game, and your sim would literally burn to death. And it would be like, how did this happen? It happens like once in a blue moon, but when it happens, you're like, I cannot believe my sim was this stupid. Like,
why do I just hear Anakin right now? Like, oh, burning on the freaking.
I hate you. I don't think I ever played. Wait, I want to go back to this comment. This one. Because
thanks, bro.
I don't think I ever played The Sims without cheat codes, because like earning money the normal way was miserable. Like,
do you have
just
to
like
get
real
a job?
life.
You actually have to go to work and work hard and get promoted.
I'm good on that, dude.
I remember I'd have like 15,000 newspapers sitting outside my house because you always had to remember to tell your sim to grab the newspaper and bring it inside. And then you had to pay your bills while going to the mailbox. It sucks. Like, I don't know why I played the game, because
that
like,
sounds horrible.
It's just like real life, but I don't know. Like, I was like 8. I didn't need to experience real life when I was like 8. Like,
no, you got to get the mother load. I agree. I never played. We started playing the regular way, and then we learned about how easy it was to cheat the game. And once you unlock that mother load, you just type in any amount of money you want.
You know, back in my day,
we used to say back in my day,
we had something called a Game Shark for the Nintendo 64, and the only way you could get cheat codes for the game was to plug this Game Shark cartridge in, and then you would plug the other game in on top of that Game Shark cartridge, and then you could access cheat codes for it. I'm not kidding. It was awesome. And guess what? No loading screens because it wasn't a disc.
I just remember having you could go to the bookstore. You could go to the bookstore and you could buy books full of cheat codes for games, and it was it was ridiculous. Like the internet was in its earliest stages; it was in its infancy, but it's just crazy to look back on how integral cheat codes were to video games. But yeah, those are some of my favorites, particularly Angry Birds Star Wars. Apparently Sims Star Wars
right now. It's a game GD Pro for NES, man. Did you never play a freaking Star Wars or a freaking N64?
I was a PS2 man. I was a PS2 man.
I'm only 6 months over 30.
You're still 29.
I'm going to be 31 soon. Jeez, God, that went fast. Quick here.
Well, that's how it is sometimes, I guess.
Who is Daddy Josh, by the way?
For the longest time, I thought it was actually Josh on a burner account. I've since discovered I don't think it is not. And I felt really stupid. I was like, this isn't Josh.
YouTubers are too busy to be on other people's
burner
YouTubes.
account. Yeah. I was like, wow, Josh is really into this burner account, Daddy Josh. And then I was like, I don't think that's him.
We had some burner accounts the other week. We were on here. People were screen capping us, and
oh man,
it was a good time. It was a good time. All right, let's get into some actual news.
All right,
some little Obi-Wan news, as usual, because we are all obsessed with it. Some of the writers got revealed, and those writers are the following.
Woo!
So we've got Joby Harold is, I guess, the principal writer, so he's going to be in on every episode. But aside from him, we've got Hossein Amini, Stuart Beatty. We have.
Dude, did you just whip that up?
I whipped that up. Yeah, not right now, but when we were planning for the show.
You're insane.
I'm fast on the draw, man.
You are.
Fastest hand in the West. And then Andrew Stanton. So, X-Wing, I feel like you know more about these writers than I do. What are some of the things that they've worked on in their past?
So, well, I mean, for a mix, I guess if we're just going to throw some of the projects that they've worked on, the big one that stands out for me is the stuff that we saw from Pixar. So Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Toy Story 2. And I feel like that's important for different reasons than other people think, right? And people are like, well, whatever. They wrote a kid's story, but that's not the way I see it. When I look at Finding Nemo, that was some of the most beautiful storytelling I've ever seen in a film. And it was awesome because it was accessible for adults and it was accessible for children, and it affected them both in different ways while accomplishing the overall goal of the story. I'm kind of a Finding Nemo simp, by the way. And same thing with Finding Dory. I mean, there's some of my favorite movies, out there. So I'm really excited about that. And then also we had, I don't remember if it was Amini. No, it was Beatty. Beatty wrote The Black Pearl.
Black Pearl.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, which is still to this day, just like an awesome movie. It was great. And obviously there's more than that goes into it than just the writing, but it was another really well written movie. So I'm excited about it. The other one I think is Hossein, and I haven't seen pretty much any of those, but I think he did Collateral. He did Drive, which you've seen, right?
Drive is good. Yeah, Drive is good.
Yeah, and then some other, it was kind of like a knockoff World War II movie from a Russian perspective or something like that.
So I'm just glad that I was scared that it was going to be all, what's his name? All Joby Harold, because his resume was not giving me confidence. And I'm glad that they have him co-writing with a bunch of people who have made good movies like The Curse of the Black Pearl and Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Two very different films.
They both involve the ocean.
Both in the ocean. Both
involve the ocean.
Yeah.
After that.
They should be on Avatar 2 or something instead. I don't know.
Pete Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way.
Yes. Escape.
So, if they can just infuse a little bit of that early 2000s movies magic. It's perfect, right? That's when the prequels came out. Maybe they can recapture that 2000s magic. You know,
Perfect.
it's perfect.
No, I saw it as a perfect omen. There were people initially with like the Finding Nemo and those other kids movies, like what in the world? Because it doesn't inherently maybe match up, but I take that as those movies have emotional damage. Like Finding Nemo, I'll never get over like the beginning sequence when all the other eggs get eaten. Like,
take me to church.
That's the sign that I took from that. I was like, these films scarred me for life, and that's what I want this show to do. Like, bring on the emotional damage. And I feel like I didn't necessarily have that so much with the sequel trilogy. Not that it's necessary for film, but for this series, it is a necessity. Like, I need to be emotionally obliterated.
Break my heart.
Yeah.
Break my heart and then bring me back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
X-Wing and I were talking about this before we went live, but we were talking about, I think we've mentioned it a few times before, but we really want Darth Vader to show up and have Kenobi like realize, oh my god, Anakin's not dead. Like, I thought I killed Anakin. Like, that is like becoming more and more important for me as the days go on. Like, how do you feel about that, Kat?
No, I think that would be, to experience that moment. I personally always deep down, and I've said this on my channel, like I feel personally like Obi-Wan, he would have finished the job. I think it's so out of character for him.
That's such a good freeze picture.
Wait, did I freeze? You're kidding me.
Somebody clip that, please.
You're kidding me. Anyways, I don't know why my computer doesn't like StreamYard, but anyways.
I'm sorry.
Kenobi, literally, he would have finished the job on Mustafar, and I always questioned why he didn't leave Anakin alive. So part of me has always, why he did leave Anakin, why he wouldn't have just like ended it, put him out of his misery. I always deep down felt like a part of him knew Anakin was still, could be at large, Vader could still be a thing. So I don't know. That's always just been my personal philosophy. But I would totes be down to see, that would be a great moment to see, like, on screen, the realization.
And what a waste not to use that, like, emotional. And I can already, if they're gonna be using some of that original score, which they did in the trailer, that the scene in Attack of the Clones when Anakin is about to kill the Tusken Raiders, and it's like the drumming strings, like, like when he starts figuring out, and he's like, Anakin is Darth Vader. You're like, oh shit, yeah, let's go.
And then it goes into Anakin's dark deeds.
Yeah.
Oh god, the music's so good.
We should have scored this.
We should have. Get lost, John Williams. Zach and Kat are on it.
Yeah. That's just, I'm excited. And I'm excited to see what John does when he starts to blend some of the what?
That was one of the burner accounts harassing us
account.
2 weeks ago.
Right.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I think he's gonna blend a lot of the prequel themes into new stuff, which I'm really excited about. I mean, the music it's like smelling an old familiar smell, right? When you smell apple pie or like fresh linens or something, it just takes you right to that moment. And so when you bring that music back, it's gonna wreck us prequel babies.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand half of because after the kind of initial shockwave / hypeness died down from the trailer, I think a lot of people stepped back and were judging some of us who freaked out because they were like, well, it's just the music. Even Alex was a denier. He was like, is it a good trailer or was it just the music? Is that a cheap shot? And I was like, I don't give a shiz if it is. Like, that's what I'm coming to this show for.
A cheap shot?
Like,
excuse me?
Give me the soundtrack that I came here for. I'm incredibly excited to hear the new theme that John Williams has cooked up for this show and see how it fits in. But give me everything from the prequels. That's what I'm signing up for. That's where my Disney Plus bucks are going. So
I just feel like Star Wars, like, you can't make the excuse that it's just the music, because Star Wars is like 45% music. Like, without the music of John Williams, like, is Star Wars as big as it is today? I don't think so.
Nope.
So
Do you remember that it was the screen test where John Williams and George Lucas are talking to each other, and all it is like I think it was the X-Wings taking their roll right before they go in the trench run. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And what are they going to be thinking here? And they're like, it doesn't matter. They're going to be listening to the music. Like, nobody cares. They're going to be listening to the music.
Yep.
It's like, it's so important. And I remember when the Force Awakens trailer came out, when like, as soon as you see the Millennium Falcon, like the music like swells. It's like the classic original trilogy music. It's the same thing. It's like, it's just it's a part of it. It's
that was a
laced in the
honeypot.
DNA. That trailer was,
that
trailer was so good. Yeah. I wish I could watch that trailer for the first time again. Let's roll on along to Giancarlo Esposito says Mandalorian season 3 is coming this summer. His exact quote is, "You'll get it soon. I got a few things in regard to that to do to put some finishing touches on what I do, but I believe it'll be sometime this summer. No date set yet, but coming soon." Now, I'm a little skeptical about this myself. What do you guys think? You think it's plausible?
Lies, deception.
Every day more lies.
Thank you, Saw.
Yeah, no, I think I saw literal. I don't know if they were actual showrunners from Mando or like people behind the scenes, but I feel like I saw people who are heavily informed or typically know the timeline confirm, like, don't listen to that. Don't know it's coming. Same time frame as Book of Boba Fett. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, think about it. We know we're getting Andor in August. And if we're running Kenobi through, I mean, we're going to be halfway through Kenobi in the first 2 weeks, which is just weird to think about. But yeah, I don't think so.
I wonder if he misinterpreted the question somehow, and it is like maybe they'll be completely done with. I don't know. They're already wrapped on production, right?
For Mando season 3?
A little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because they one of the cast members shared their little pin or patch or whatever it was and said we're done filming. That's right.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know. Like maybe he was just like, yeah, it's gonna come out this summer.
Well, that leads me to believe. I'm like, I'm doing the math. I'm like,
that doesn't even make sense.
Is Moff Gideon in Andor? I'm like, wait, maybe he's getting.
That's true. Maybe he doesn't.
He could be you. No, he couldn't be in Andor. I take that back.
Yeah.
No, he could be in Andor.
Younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always just makes me question what happens behind the scenes when an actor lets something like that slip. Their agent getting hit up by Lucasfilm, like, dude, why did you say this?
Classic. He's not Tom Holland. I think it's just a classic misdirect.
Yeah. I feel like, I guess if anything, like, I mean, we know he's going to be in season 3 now, and I wasn't sure he was going to, because
Gideon?
Yeah, I mean, they said he's in prison.
1,000%.
He's in prison now, so I was like, maybe they're just going to move on from him, but I guess maybe they're going to break him out.
Oh no, I think totally, Mando's appearance, episode 5 in Book of Boba Fett, when the armorer is like talking with Mando about like, so how'd you get this Darksaber? And he explains what happened with Gideon. He's like, yeah, he's in prison now, awaiting trial. And the armorer says something like, oh, we'll see. ... I felt like that was a very just like seed plant insinuating that it's not going to be that easy to prosecute him.
They're just they're using he's a proxy. Gideon is going to be the proxy. He's the big bad until the actual big bad shows up, which is definitely going to be Thrawn.
It's going to be Snoke.
Bye.
If you had a gun, I want to ask you this. If you had a gun and you have one bullet. I
do have a gun.
Okay, so you have that gun and you only have one bullet, and you can shoot Haldo or Snoke. Which one are you picking?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Played in the 5th.
Okay.
Oh.
Haldo all day.
You just said you had a weird obsession with her.
I dislike her that much. Everybody's like, dude, I hate the sequel trilogies, Rey's and Mary Sue. I'm like, did you guys forget about Holdo? Okay, let's look at the real sequel trilogy villain here. Yeah. Holdo.
You're telling me you don't approve of the Holdo maneuver?
It looked cool. I'll give him that. It looked beautiful, but That's about all I'll give them.
Causes problems. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Okay. I respect.
Like a Death
So-
Star. Oh, dude, just hold and maneuver it.
Exactly. So send like 5 to 10 ships and just have them all.
Not even that, bro. I mean, you're trying to get to the main reactor, aim at the middle, just boop. Done. You could do it with an X-Wing. They have hyperdrives. One X-Wing. You send an astromech unit with it, have it go to hyperspace right in front of the frickin' shenanigans.
I just don't know why they didn't think of that. Like, I don't know why they didn't stop and think, like, why hasn't anybody ever done this before? I think it's
Planning.
it's your responsibility as creators of Star Wars to make sure it makes sense.
I said this, whatever it was, last night. I was listening to Robert Meyer Burnett, and he's like, I just don't understand how Disney acquires it, and this is not the most meticulously thought out, like crazy over process. Like they were just like, we'll
I
make it work.
literally just saw that clip on TikTok last night. I know the exact one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, especially when you look at what they did with Marvel. Like, they were very meticulous with Marvel. They thought it all out. They set up each character very carefully and then combined them into these huge crossovers. And then with Star Wars, they're just like, it's too big to fail. We'll make a ton of money. We can do whatever.
Friggin' Matt Cave. Matt Cave is like, I'm improving the sequel trilogy. I'm like, how are you doing that? He's like, I'm cutting most of it out, mostly.
It's gonna be 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great film, though. Yeah.
Oh god. So
anyway,
I would guess that the Mandalorian season 3. Do we even get it late this year? Do we get it in December?
It's gonna be like December.
Yeah, I think a Christmas release, kind of the classic, because that's their cash cow, and like Disney loves their Christmas releases, right?
Kind of like Boba Fett last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They want their cash cows in the holiday. They know people
Merry
are home and they're
Christmas.
going to be watching them.
Get those Baby Yoda toys.
Yep.
Oh, for real. For real.
Sorry, Grogu. And thank you for the super chat. You hate the sequels because of Holdo. I hate the sequels because they killed Admiral Akbar. We are not the same.
That's a very myopic view of my conflicted relationship with the sequels. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they did that man dirty. He deserves more respect than getting killed in the background.
Freaking Admiral Akbar. Rough.
R.I.P. R.I.P. All right, the last topic of the day we've got is Bryce Howard says fans of the Clone Wars will be greatly rewarded with the Ahsoka show. Her exact quote, without giving anything away, you're going to love the Ahsoka show that's coming up. I cannot tell you anything, but what I can say is that you being a fan of the Clone Wars will be greatly rewarded. This has me pretty excited. I mean, we know that Hayden Christensen's going to be in it, so obviously there's going to be some Ahsoka Anakin stuff. But beyond that, I'm wondering what else they could do. Do you guys have any ideas?
Yeah, I was curious to see that she specifically mentioned Clone Wars in her statement because I've been anticipating that this show is going to fall more in line with the Rebels, at least in terms of plot / character. So I was a bit elated to hear that. And also, I just fully trust her. I think everyone's on the Bryce Dallas Howard hype train after, her episodes from Mandalorian and now Book of Boba Fett. Like, she's clearly got the passion and the knowledge and the director skills.
Did you know how close she was to the Lucas family?
I saw that.
It was ridiculous. They have pictures of like BDH in the bathtub with George's kids. Like, she was getting figures from George Lucas at Christmas every year. Like, crazy close.
Yeah,
it must be so nice to be a recipient of nepotism. It must be so nice.
At least she's doing something with it though. Like, she's
talented.
She's extremely an incredible director and actress. Like, I fully trust. Like, I wouldn't just listen to anybody saying that statement, but coming from her, I'm like, I trust you, girl. So I just don't know what more there could be of Clone Wars, because I've just been so like, oh, Rebels. It's going to be like a Rebels spinoff.
I thought so too, because you're getting Thrawn, obviously, and then assuming we get Ezra.
Well, I might have something to say about that. So, look. I don't know for sure, but we were talking about it in the pre. There was a picture that was floating around, okay? Could she be referencing some kind of meetup, some kind of battle between Maul and Ahsoka? If what we saw in the picture was true.
But like,
Unfinished
when would it
business.
have taken place?
And that's
I
what
guess
I don't
they
know. I don't
could
know.
do it, but
I don't know. Yeah. But
'Cause-
that's kind of odd, right? That she said that, like,
Yeah.
oh man, you're gonna love it because, like, you know, Ahsoka and the Clone Wars. I'm like, well, Ahsoka and Maul fought in the Clone.
So
Mm.
here's the thing that the only thing I could think of is originally in Rebels when she meets Maul and then like they fight for like 10 seconds, then Maul's like running away again, Lady Tano.
Yeah.
But that doesn't correlate to their fight at the end of the Clone Wars.
Right. And they're also on some kind of a desert planet, I think, in that
Yeah.
shot, right?
Yeah. So assuming that that is not a fan film, which I think it is, but let's just assume that it's real. Maybe they did encounter each other sometime before that, and Maul's referencing that fight.
Right.
Where maybe Ahsoka does run away for some reason when he meets her again in Rebels. Like that, they could do that to make it make more sense. And
I mean,
fix
they're
kind of
totally fine saying that people have met when we all think that they haven't, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if we're getting Kenobi Vader, what's the difference with doing an Ahsoka Maul?
It's even less of a problem. It's
Yeah.
not really a problem at all, honestly.
Yeah. So maybe it does have merit. I don't know. But those were just two little strings. I mean, they're tenuous at best, little bitty strings. But I was like, maybe.
I mean, those costumes were pretty
They were
choice,
so
yeah.
legit. So legit.
If it is a fan film, though, I'm like, well, why wouldn't the creators of this fan film? Why wouldn't whoever this is come out and say,
Yeah. No, that's
hey,
for us.
no, this is from us? But because
Check
that's
the
great
hype.
publicity for
Yeah.
them.
Check the hype.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
it would be really well. It would work really well for them, unless they wanted to stir the pot and get people like, oh, everyone's freaking out over this. Let's just be quiet and pretend that this is like actual Disney. I don't know.
Nobody would do that. That makes no sense.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah, you're 100% right there. That's something I didn't think about either.
As Cad Bane would say, "What's your angle?"
Yeah.
Spider-Man. It is going to take place during the Mandalorian, but we're thinking maybe flashback if this is real. It would have to be.
Disney loves their flashbacks. The flashback does.
Oh my.
Maybe she gets a splinter and she's got to get in the back to tank.
Dude,
She remembers.
if they use the back to tanks as a vehicle to always do flashbacks, it'll become such a meme.
There's
No.
expect to see it.
Obi-Wan's in the back to tank the whole show.
The entire series.
He never gets out.
He pulls a Luke and he just like force fights Vader from the back to tank.
He's in the back to tank the whole time. Yes.
God, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad if they did that again, where like Vader swings through him and nothing happens, and he's like, "What?" It's just "See you later, kid," or something.
I think
Gotcha,
there would
bitch.
be collective rage that you would just feel in the atmosphere rippling throughout the fandom. Like,
yep.
There are moments like in these shows or like series or like the Clone Wars finale, for example. I was like, everyone is freaking out right now. Let's go. I was like, this is a moment I'm gonna get on Twitter and we're all gonna be crying.
Yep.
And then there's moments where it's like, I'm gonna get on Twitter and everyone's gonna be raging.
You watch it and you're like, oh no,
that's not great.
Twitter's gonna be on fire. One of them for me was when they did the Obi-Wan preview. Star Wars Santa and I were on for like 3 hours waiting for it to drop. Like, we got the leaks. We knew it was coming today. We thought it was coming at a specific time. Never happened. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to watch Disney Plus Investor Day. And so I'm live streaming by myself, and the Kenobi trailer comes out, and I'm like, freaking out. And then they show, it was, I rarely say this about myself. It was adorable. They show the freaking, they show the Inquisitor, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, that's not a win for Lucasfilm.
Oh, what have you done? Darling, no, please. And of course, you go on Twitter and everybody's like, Easter egg head! Like, terrible. Get it out of here.
I think in my reaction, I was like, I went from smile to like, it looks a little weird. Like, it's fine. It's fine.
You know that Obi-Wan meme? It's like visible confusion, and he's just like, huh. Interesting choice. Yeah.
And then like I put out a short about that and it like blew up, but a lot of people have brought up that the fifth brother looks even worse. And like I could hear the argument. Like he looks pretty, he doesn't look like the guy from Rebels.
Yeah.
No human would. Like
I know, but like just I don't know.
That wasn't even my beef, but that happened to me in a live stream too. They're like, "You're worried about him? Have you seen the brother?" I'm like, "Oh."
He just has like a white face. Like they painted his face white and
stuck some things.
I feel like I'm not asking. I understand it's hard to do like a perfect translation. I just like a little more effort. I think maybe some, I don't know, a little more effort than just painting his face would have been okay for me. But
yeah,
I'm sure like honestly I don't care that much. It's just like more of like a really, you couldn't have done a little better. But like
that
I keep saying,
I feel like that makes a little bit more sense than the Grand, because like the Grand, we've seen Palins, right? And of course there's some variation in the Palins and stuff like that, but we've seen them in live action and it doesn't look nothing like that.
No, a lot of it for me is the texture of the skin is I know it might be like what the guy was wearing in Revenge of the Sith might not have translated well to combat and stunts and all that, but like it's just such a stark contrast, and it's just hard for me to say like this is okay, like
it's great.
He looks the same, like it's tough, but like it's fine. I'm sure it won't matter as long as the show is amazing.
Did you see the article they put out like yesterday or day before yesterday about that?
No,
they clickbaited me so hard, dude. It was like
you.
It was Rupert Friend finally breaks the silence on the Grand Inquisitor. I'm like, let's go. And I click on it and it's like, yeah, I was super sweaty. I was covered in prosthetics and I was so sweaty. I'm like, that's breaking the silence on the Grand Inquisitor? Like, shut up. Maybe so
that's
mad.
pretty clickbait.
We wanted dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have just said, like, look, I didn't design the costume.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, he
can't control it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was expecting. Like, I was looking forward to making 5 cents off a video. You know what I mean?
Damn, did they robbed you?
Yeah.
You'll never financially recover from this.
Let's go. Here's the tea. I got a video ready to go.
Rupert Friend was sweaty.
It's the title of the video.
You might make 10 cents off of that.
Welcome to Star Wars YouTube.
Where we cling on to whatever we can get.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You're still holding on.
It's so true. Anywho.
You can say what you want about the sequels, but they did give us some good, juicy memes, mostly from Kylo.
Yes. I quote them.
What?
I quote them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's not prequel memes level, but like what is? I mean,
nothing.
Well, those are just goated.
Yeah, those are. There's a freaking one of the biggest subreddits on Reddit is dedicated to prequel memes. It's amazing.
Yeah, our prequel memes. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah. Ones. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else to add? Anything you want to go over? Anybody in the comments? Any questions for us? Anything at all? We have about 15 more minutes.
Yeah, it's a dry news week, guys. Give us a break.
I was gonna say, if anybody wants to subscribe, but these are all my homies, so like.
Actually, I want to ask X-Wing because I don't know if I heard your thoughts on this, and I think we kind of talked about this. You, Zach, and Alex. But what is your interpretation of why they would postpone the Kenobi premiere date and drop the second episode at the same time?
Ooh, girl, man, I was spicy on that, and everybody else was like, "Shut up, X-Wing. It's not why they're doing that." So for me, okay, I thought this was super weird. Like the news drops, and I'm like, "This is odd." And everybody else was like, "What? They're just doing it because of celebration." I'm like, I don't think so, man. Like they don't have to push the premiere to celebration. I think what's happening is they're trying to shorten the end date of Kenobi, and then maybe they push Andor a little bit to squeeze something in from the end of Kenobi to the beginning of Andor. And if I had to take a guess, I'm not 100% on this one, not 100%, but I'm thinking we're getting like a front half of like a Bad Batch season 2 or something. There's something that squeaks in between the end of Kenobi and the beginning of Andor. And I think by taking that 1 week off, they're able to fit the episodes that they need to, while also saving the premiere for Star Wars Celebration where everybody freaks out. You shut the fuck up.
Daddy Josh, come on, man. No,
Come on, man.
that's the first interpretation along those lines of that I've heard, and that makes sense. I didn't
Doesn't
think
it?
about it that way.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even like they delayed it what, like a couple days?
2
Yeah.
days, yeah.
It's so weird.
But it shortens it by a week. We're gonna be halfway through the season by the second week.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I fixated more on why are they posting the second episode too, but I didn't think about the purpose in hurrying up more through the. I was
Timing.
fixating more on like what is in the second episode that they would want to share that as well. I wasn't thinking about
Disney don't
the
give a
timeline.
I feel
ish
like
about Stranger Things,
yeah,
bro.
Stranger Things isn't what it used to be. I mean, like, in my opinion, it hasn't been very good since season 1. I know that might be unpopular, but
Whoa! And there's like this is the 4th
Yeah.
season coming out.
it's the 4th season.
yeah.
It's been a million years since the 3rd season.
A lot of people love Stranger Things. It is not on the level of Kenobi, Star
yeah.
Wars. It's like peons. No way.
But also, what does Disney Plus care about Netflix releases?
Yeah, they don't.
Netflix is
Yeah.
a sinking ship, I think. I
With
think
these price raises.
Yeah, I think that Netflix is like it's like they don't have the same level of content that they used to. Especially since like HBO Max is better now, Disney Plus is better now, like it's Amazon Prime is better. Like there's shows at Apple TV or whatever. Like there's so many better shows
Yeah.
on those platforms than Netflix has now. Like Netflix has Stranger Things and like Squid Game and like what else? I'm probably missing a few things.
They have some
But-
good original like movies. I feel like maybe that's the direction Netflix is going to. Like they're pumping out some like
That's true.
award-nominated films like The Power of the Dog and The Lost Daughter. Like I feel like that's a niche they're working towards. They're kind of all over the place. Like HBO Max, like you said, I think is coming in for the like top dog because they
Yeah.
have the best of the best stuff, series, original content, versus Netflix has some really incredible original films and then some really just like people hate watch some shows on Netflix because they don't like them that much. Like that's the kind of
Interesting.
reputation I feel like it's developing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I try to think of the reasons why you would stack the second episode on the first. So like when you run through the reasons why they would do something, episode 1, okay, do they have to make some more edits and they need just a couple days more time to fix something? Like, okay, fine. Why are you stacking episode 2 on? That doesn't make sense. And then I think, well, is there something to do with the story? Maybe they're worried that fans aren't going to like how episode 1 ends. And so they feel like they have to stack episode 2 on to make it more cohesive and avoid fan backlash. That's the only other one that stands out to me as something that would be more, it makes more sense to me than what other people are saying. But the one that's sticking out to me is a timing thing. Why would you stick episode 2 right on the back half of episode 1 and not let the hype train build? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. It smells.
No, I was thinking the same thing you were. I was like, why these two together? And from a plot perspective, what is the significance of releasing them at the same time? I was like thinking exactly along those lines, yeah, and not thinking about any other time frame or timelines for them to squeak in, as you say. I like that verb. Squeak in some bad batch or something. But my thoughts, because the rumor has it, and I'm not buying into this, but allegedly Vader is making his appearance in the 3rd episode, according to what people are saying. I can't
Sounds
confirm
right.
that.
I mean, it sounds right. That's probably
Yeah,
what I would
that's
do.
like the resounding kind of guess that I've heard.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
You-
no
you are not.
spoilers.
You are
No
not.
spoilers. But if that is true, I feel like they're gonna pull a Book of Boba Fett episode 4 where you hear the little Mando theme song, so you know the next episode. It was a cliffhanger, and everyone was just waiting for the next episode that whole week because we knew Mando was gonna show up. Like I feel like maybe episode 2 has some huge cliffhanger that alludes to we're gonna see Vader within the next first 5 minutes of episode 3. Like that's what I I keep fixating on.
Something smells.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It just smells.
Maybe we'll be able to figure it out once it airs. But
Hopefully.
thanks for the super chat, Charlie. It's been 11 months. That's freaking crazy.
Whoa!
I owe a lot of members some WATTO messages. I will get on that. I'm trying to figure out like the.
I've gotten a WATTO message. What are you talking? What is that?
Yeah, you get personal messages from WATTO every month that you're a member. So if you're on WATTO tier, I think. So yeah, I need to get on that. But thank you, Charlie. 11 months, almost a full year, and I'll pass it on to Alex. So thank you for that. Also, people are saying Netflix is still number 1 in subscriptions. That's true, but I feel like it's more because everybody has Netflix.
Right.
Like everybody has it because of like it was the biggest thing. It was the biggest fish in the ocean. I think nowadays it's starting to lose its luster, and people are going to start canceling, especially once they raise their rates. And I heard there was something about them preventing you from having like multiple people using one account, which would be not smart in my opinion. But
yeah.
I think that we're going to see Netflix start to lose ground.
Well, and two, I mean, what's really going to be interesting now that we have so many different players in the space is to see, you know, when you have a PlayStation exclusive, people will buy a console just for the fact that they get to play Spider-Man on, you know, PS4 or whatever. And so I think that's going to be interesting to see where people gravitate to depending on what they're getting. Like Paramount Plus has Halo, which people are not liking. But they also had South Park exclusives. Like, I got Paramount Plus just to watch the South Park exclusives. You know what I mean? And then I forget about it, and it sits there, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll watch Halo. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's going to be interesting to see, like, who has the content that really slaps. Like, Disney is going to be huge because they're going to have the Star Wars stuff. They're going to have really big budget stuff on streaming, and I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards that compared to, you know, Netflix has some high budget stuff, but I wouldn't say it's on the level of like Disney Plus right now.
They definitely don't have anything as high profile. I mean, Disney's got Marvel.
Maybe high profile, not budget, but profile.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the high budget stuff that is on Netflix was shows that were on like other networks that then Netflix picks up.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's just hard. Everyone's coming into the Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, Disney Plus, Apple. It's like Netflix got in at the perfect time because that was like the only one for a long time. I feel like Netflix and Hulu, I feel like they kind of were the first two to like battle it out. And now there's 50 other ones. And it's like, am I really going to get, but you're so right, X-Wing. It's like, I have to have Paramount Plus so that I can watch these FIFA games or something like that. It's like they're making it so hard.
TV is going to be like $280 a month if you want to watch all the shows you want to watch.
Yeah.
Dude,
until somebody comes through and they're like, we're going to give all the top shows from each company for one low price. Yeah. And then they'll trickle all that back to the companies. You know what I mean?
It'll be just like TV packages.
Yeah.
And like, I what I hope is they never have cancellation fees, because I know a lot of people like to like, okay, I'm going to sign up, watch the Book of Boba Fett, and then cancel my Disney Plus until Obi-Wan. And I just hope that the companies don't start making you pay for that.
I could see 3-month contracts or 6-month contracts totally being a thing with streaming services.
Yeah. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but still, I do like the freedom to be able to just cancel whenever you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to do it for us, folks. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but we are down a man, and there's not a ton of news out there. But like we said at the beginning, we think we think that it's about to come pouring down like a torrential rainfall. So X-Wing, Cat, what do you guys have going on your channels next?
Lego Star Wars, baby. Yeah, still streaming.
That's awesome. I'm gonna keep doing Lego Star Wars, and then if you guys, I mean, nobody appears to like Fortnite, but I have a gaming channel, and I play.
Wait, you have a gaming channel?
Yeah.
How the heck did I not know this?
Stash Rendar.
Nice.
That goes back to, like I told you, I loved freaking Shadows of the Empire. Dash Rendar is like still one of my big time heroes in Star Wars. So Stash Rendar, the gaming channel.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is the most unprofessional channel in the world, and that's kind of why I love it, because like I don't have to do anything according to like what you should be doing on YouTube. So that's just to have fun and hang out and do stuff like that. But I will be continuing to do Lego Star Wars on my Star Wars channel, and I'm going to be off for 2 weeks after this. Like I said, I'm leaving my job. I'm going to be off for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to a Star Wars convention right after that. So
congrats on leaving your job.
Thank you. Expect the Star Wars content to be rolling out for sure.
Woo-woo.
All right. So thank you for joining us for another episode of the Evil Ewok podcast. We will see you next time, folks. Later.
Bye, friends.